Hello everybody, welcome back to the Inclusion Coach. My name is Rebecca and I am your Inclusion Coach. The Inclusion Coach channel is all about allyship, and allyship is all about shouldering the fight for equity as our own, recognising our privilege and using it to be change makers and to elect change makers. Empathy fatigue comes when we shoulder other people's emotions as our own without taking care of our own mental health. Personally, I think that as a white, straight, middle-class, cisgender woman living in a rich country, one of my biggest privileges is the ability to turn away from trauma, to see things that are going on in the world that don't have any direct relevance to me and my identity, and go, you know what, not today. When the world seems to be going quite mad with hostile legislation and violence towards minoritized groups all over the world, it can feel really overwhelming for everybody. And as allies, we feel that we don't have the entitlement to talk about that feeling of being overwhelmed. Empathy fatigue can make us feel apathetic or desensitized or detached. We might feel that we've got no more room in our head or our heart to care about anything else. And that's not great for active allyship. So what do we do when we're getting to that point? Here's some ideas that have helped me. Self-awareness really helps. The ability to recognize the emotions that we're feeling. And with allies, it could be things like overwhelming guilt or fear or helplessness. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. If you say to yourself, well, other people have it way worse than I do, I have no right to feel these emotions. And you're feeling them because you're an ally, because you care. It's okay to feel that way. Talking about how you're feeling really helps. So writing it down if you're a habitual journaler, or chatting to another ally about how you're feeling. Definitely not chatting to somebody who may be impacted by you describing trauma of other people, or somebody who might be traumatized by that themselves. But an ally who gets it, who knows that we can never do enough as allies and the feelings of helplessness that come from this. Another ally who will just listen and say, I get it, I understand. They won't try to cheer you up. They won't try to make you feel better. They'll just be there for you. And that's the approach that you can use when you are having an ally conversation to avoid empathy fatigue. Just listen. Just let somebody talk. Don't try to solve it for them. Don't try to fix the world. Just listen and say, I believe you. What can I do? How can I help? How are you feeling? As allies, we can often be listening to conversations like this and thinking, I feel so guilty. I feel so bad. How can I help to solve this problem? How can I fix the world? You've got this little to-do list going around in your head, rather than just being there to listen and hear somebody else's lived experience. And it is okay to take a mental break, to have maybe a bit of a digital detox for a day. No TV, no social media, because it does feel often as though we're being bombarded with bad news and terrible things happening. So don't feel bad about it. See it as a break, not a betrayal, because pushing yourself into empathy fatigue will not help anybody. You need to have your break and come back with the headspace and the heart space to be an active ally wholeheartedly. Active allyship with mental health breaks is better than performative allyship or no allyship at all. But don't quit being an ally because it's hard. Don't quit being an ally because it's uncomfortable. It's meant to be. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.